Be considered educational for the body of Christ as well as just for entertainment, depending upon who you are. Hello and welcome to Run With God. Today we're going to do a little bit different. I'm going to share some information with you. This may be a couple of videos, maybe 2 or 3, but I believe it is important to understand how the church has gotten some of the things that is infiltrated into it, where it's come from, what its root is. Now, some of you have heard of name it and claim it, and others call it lab it and claim it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we're talking a matter of factly here, and we have to do it because it's very important. You see, there was a man named Carl Jung who was a psychologist who believed himself to be a Christian at some point, professed it. However, he was a Mason, and he eventually would use the name of God, but he would actually claim that he was I am that I am. Carl Jung was influenced by Sigmund Freud, and he mixed the things of the Lord with Sigmund Freud. And as this happened, we see that he used books himself, and he also automatic wrote. Now, automatic writing is the information that is given to one through the unconscious part of your brain, where you are not in control of anything, but you've given yourself over to some other source. Now, that other source would be a familiar spirit, and his books were written as this happened. And he influenced and trained Agnes Sanford. And Agnes Sanford's books became very popular. She existed from 1897 to 1982. And she is where the majority of the beginning of inner healing started, using visualization and the subconscious mind through analytical inner healing. And she created most of what is used today as pastoral counseling. Now, remember, I said that part of this information came from automatic writing, which means it came from familiar spirits, which means it is not from the Lord, but from the enemy, from the devil. She taught this for emotional and generational deliverance, bringing the brand of name it and claim it into the word of faith movement. This collided and started a lot of different aspects within the word of faith, and it is rooted in Jungianism and Sanford's teachings. Okay, now Norman Vincent Peale wrote The Power of Positive Thinking, and Christians took it upon themselves to say that it was a book led from the Lord, when Norman Vincent Peale himself was a high Mason. He was from 1898 to 1993. He used psychological methods that came from the cult, like a background that was very demonically influenced, what we call today as a New Age religious background, and that is where vision boards come from. Meditation with guided imagery that would lead you or I to opening ourselves up in the spirit world, which would be opening to spirit guides. Now, Carl Jung progressed the information in which Sigmund Freud and Vincent Peale also wrote, and he made available what is called the Red Book and the Black Book, and these are basically a representation of the yin and yang of oneself. We know that that is definitely from the occult. It talks about shadows, and Believe it or not, the occultic practice of shadow working also comes from that. Jungism programs were implemented in what we call the gifted and talented programs. Gate programs and Gateway were infiltrated by another man, which I'm not getting into at the moment. But Jungism was programming the minds of young people. I don't know about you, but I know many people. I myself was in gifted and talented, and I wasn't in there long. I let my mother know that I didn't like it, and I felt that there was something ungodly about it, and I told her why. She understood, and she got me out of there quickly. So, the Gifted and Talented program was there to help the teachers to open the minds of many, and unknowingly or knowingly, to the spirit world through art, through writing, through shadow integration. Think about that. Through shadow integration, you're supposed to figure out who you are. Who is that shadow? The shadow in you that is the representation of God. The shadow, that dark shadow, who they say is God.